So I had Alicia Fitts here. She's an assistant vice president of business development and community relations at a financial institution and the first African American woman to hold that role. Now she's also a coach and she's like a Christian and she's like amazing. And I absolutely loved the conversation with her. She's really an amazing human being. And she has written a book called Thank You for the Mountain. So I cannot wait for you guys to hear this beautiful, real, authentic, like just such a fun conversation. And I love speaking to trailblazers, people who are changing the game. You got to honor people like that. All right, here we go. What up, y'all? This is Neena Perez, and this is Straight Talk, No Sugar Added. I'm so excited, y'all. Okay, y'all ready? Y'all ready? Okay, be ready, okay? Because I have Alicia Fitts here. She's the Assistant Vice President of Business Development and Community Relations at a financial institution and the first African American woman to hold this role, okay? She's also the CEO of Alicia Fitts Consulting and Marketing Solutions, a Christian business coach, and a wealth strategist. Okay. She is also the author of Thank You for the Mountain. All right. And a certified credit union financial counselor. Like this woman. Okay, like what is she doing? Okay, y'all, what is she not doing? I am so glad she is here. So get ready for this amazing conversation about faith and finances and purpose and all that great stuff. Alicia, welcome to Straight Talk. How are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you doing, Nina? Wow, what an introduction. My gosh.
Well,
Oh,
listen, when you got good people, you got to introduce them, okay? Alicia, it's really, really
yes.
good to have you here. I love what you do and what you're about. I love my audience because they're always engaged too. So I want them to get to know you a little bit more. So who are you? Who are you? Who are you, Alicia? Tell us.
Who am I? First, I'm a child of God. Yes, yes. But I am
Yes.
just a woman that really just loves to help people. You listed all those things about me, and I'm just really, I'm walking into this space of where I want to help women activate their faith, build wealth, see their purpose, and just walk in their purpose. And I just, I believe, and and just if we follow what God has planned for us and we activate that. And we sometimes it just takes somebody like myself to give them, like a spiritual midwife, help them push that baby out, get stir up those gifts and get
I love
excited
that.
about who God has called them to be.
Yeah, because you know what? God has called us to be things, and He really has. And we all have different talents and skill sets and mindsets and all that. And I also believe that the things that we have gone through in our life, God will utilize for us to help others. And I
Mhm.
always have said that. Like my story also has a lot of tragedy, a lot of trauma, a lot of things that have happened, but I've used that to help other women build up. And I think that's what we're here for, Alicia, to help our fellow person, our fellow man and woman, right? To rise above from the circumstances that maybe they're going through. And I love that. I love that that's what you're about. And I love that that's what you're stepping into is knowing who you are, what your purpose is, and how you're going to help another woman do that. And the truth is we're going to grow too, right, Alicia? Like something that you've had in your life right now, God will shift it. And then you'll have a whole nother thing that God is using you for. I love God. I love life. It's awesome.
Yes, yes. I mean, you're really speaking to the season that I'm in right now. And even the women that God is sending my way is that He'll turn our pain into purpose. I am in this
Yes.
season where I have been healing while God has been instructing me to build. And, it has not been the easiest, but in that, God has given me strategies so that I can help other women and to own our stories. And that I understand that, my story and my pain is not just for me, it's for the people that I'm called to. You know what I
Yes.
mean? So I get what you're saying, Nina, is that I found in my spaces of vulnerability, that's where I am. As God said, rip off the perfect mask. That's what my book is
Yeah.
about, ripping off the perfect mask, because we can't help anybody if we are just, pretending or, that we're okay or pretending that we haven't gone through anything, then
Right.
deliverance and breakthrough can't happen. And that's what he said, Alicia. If you your deliverance and breakthrough is attached to helping other people through
Mm.
that same pain that you've experienced this year.
Is that what inspired you to write the book, Thank You for the Mountain? I mean, I want you to talk about that, and how do you guide women to overcome their own mountains, right? So talk to me about your book and what that's about.
Absolutely, yes. So honestly, I started free writing the book, and then eventually God gave me the title as went about my, life and things that were going on. And I know we've all heard of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Well, God gave me His hierarchy of needs, and He said, Alicia, your mountains are not, you have to realign your mountain with me, and that is where I saw is that my faith. I was spiritually barren. God told me, He said, you're going to go from barrenness to fruitfulness. I thought it was, finances, physical things, all the things that I needed, but it was my spirit man.
Mm,
Spiritually, I was not connected with God. I had no relationship. So that's where He started working with me. And then the other items of the mountains were, my health, then finances, education, personal, professional knowledge, all the things that we are, look to improve in. And God, I have literally seen Him realign me in, record breaking time, a year. And some of the things, that you've named, a lot of the awards and accolades, God did that all while I was suffering in
yeah,
silence, right?
yeah,
He will do
yeah.
that for you.
He sure will. He sure will, right? Because it's in that space though that's our best lesson. I always say, us as coaches, right? We are here to take the women, men, whoever we're working with from point A to point B in the shortest amount of time. That's why we become coaches because we have skill sets, we have knowledge, we have God-given talents that God gives us so that we can utilize to get people to where they need to go faster, right?
Yeah.
And so, and I love that you are a Christian business coach, right? And so I wanted to talk to you like, how do you help entrepreneurs align their faith with their financial goals or what they want to do? How are you doing that in your business?
Well, it first starts with mindset. So, mindset
Yeah.
training. I mean, I found that as an entrepreneur, that if my mindset is not in the right space, I don't know my why, I don't even know why I'm doing this, I haven't identified those things, then I will not be able to flow in any other area or build the programs or whatever it is that God has assigned me to do. So, I start with mindset training. And then we will identify which program works best for you. Is it business mentorship where you just, you're already in the space, but you just don't really have a strategy of where to get started? Or, legacy builders. Like, I just need help with budgeting, budget coaching. So, there's, or the full brand suite, right? Going from start to finish, my mindset, and then how to go from vision to victory, build the coaching program that I desire to have. And I honestly believe in creating partnerships with people like yourself, other coaches, because what God showed me is that you can't do those things alone.
You
So I
can't.
show
Yeah.
people how to cultivate relationships to get the business started.
Yeah, you're 100% right because we cannot do this journey alone. But then again, God never asked us to be alone, right? Community is really important. It's in the Bible. Community is important, and it's something that we all as entrepreneurs, especially as we start or we become coaches, do a lot of this stuff alone, and then we feel very much alone, and then we don't even know who to talk to about it, right? Well, we could talk to maybe somebody about it somewhere, and then what happens is that we start to make a lot of big mistakes that maybe we don't need to be making, like, and also I had to overcome in my own life, right? My journey with God, my self-worth. I had to realize that I had to invest in me. And when I started to invest in me, I grew. I've been, coaching since what, 2002, 2003, right? So I've been coaching a long time, but
Mhm.
it was with a lot of angst and, oh, I don't know if I can, or what if I, all that kind of stuff that we go through as women and as coaches. But you've overcome quite a few things, right? And I wanted to ask you is, on your journey as being like the first African American woman in your role, how has that shaped your perspective on leadership and community impact and coaching? How has that shaped your perspective?
What I can tell you is, someone once called me because I'm the only African American in many spaces, they called me a token. And what the Holy Spirit said is, no, Alicia, you're not a token. You are chosen for this role.
Mm,
And so if we find ourselves a minority in any space, you are chosen for that role. And
yep.
so I take it with the highest responsibility, that the words that are coming out of my mouth, any board that I'm sitting on, even, my facial expressions, I am responsible for the person coming behind me, right?
Yep. Yep.
I can literally have an impact or ruin an opportunity for someone, because this door is open for me if I don't have the morals and the character and the integrity and the genuine heart, lead with heart. I can ruin that opportunity for somebody else. So I hold that weight and that responsibility with the great honor. I really do. I
Yeah.
give honor to God for that.
That's so beautiful. I love that so much. And yeah, you're right. You are chosen because you can't get anything or lose anything without God, right? I mean, I really believe he is the author and finisher of our life. And then we really,
Mhm.
when God wants to uplift you, when God wants to put you in a role, he will do so because he is God. God can do whatever God wants to do. Like we cannot tell God I mean, I try to tell God what I want him to do, but it never
Yes.
works out.
Yes, it never, listen, he's not trying to hear that. Because he's our creator. So he knows
That's
Nina and
right. That's
Alicia
right.
better than we know ourselves. And so
That's
a
right.
lot of times, I'm gonna be honest, even if I didn't see myself in this space, I was like, no, no, as a coach or anything like
Right.
that.
Right.
But like you said, it's called uncommon favor. And with God's favor, it changes all rules and regulations, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
law,
Yeah.
right? And so
For real.
we just have to accept the call.
Yeah, that's it. And at the end of the day, honestly, our goal is to leave a better impact and a legacy here on this earth and then go on to be with our Father, right? In heaven. Like that's for me, that's the goal, right? And I believe that's your goal as well. Like to
Absolutely.
if we're gonna have this life here and we're not promised tomorrow, but we're here, then I'm grateful for that. And I'm grateful for meeting you in our conversation because this is also important to God, right? Two women who are actually sisters in the Lord, right?
Yes.
Who are
Mhm.
connected. Like that to me is a beautiful thing. And it's not a mistake, right?
It's
Yeah.
not. It's divine. His divine assignment, divine order. I'm excited about this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh man, yeah, God is really really good. And I know that you balance a lot of things, right? Because you're a leader, you're a coach, you're a writer, right? I
Mhm.
believe you when me and you spoke the first time, you're a mom, right?
Yes, a mother of
Yes.
three.
Mother of 3, that's
3.
right, right. So how are you doing that? How are you balancing all of that in your life? Like, what how do you stay rooted in purpose? How do you stay rooted?
How to stay rooted in purpose? Well, firstly, you've got to stay prayed up. It's not,
Yes, girl.
it
Yes.
is not optional. Not even optional. Like,
Oh my gosh.
the prayer life has to be strong. Reading the word, it is the
Yeah, yeah,
instruction. That's the core and that's the foundation. But also through this year, I have found that I was severely neglecting my self care. So, as women, we've got to do whatever it is, but prioritize our self care, whatever that looks like for your schedule. If you have something that you could do once a month for yourself, take that time because that is important because your mind has to be right, so that you can do all the things as a Proverbs 31 woman. And then also, the situation I told you I was healing while I'm building, I had to sit in somebody's therapy chair. Okay. And
yeah,
I've never done that in all of my life. And it has been next level, to just be able for God to give me somebody that I can professionally talk to. And it puts me
yeah,
in such a great space, joy, right? And
yeah,
then
yeah,
you spoke this word, and this is so powerful, is community. I feel that as women, we have to have community, for someone that we can connect. If it's a mother's group or something like that. I've joined a mother's group as well. And even creating our own tables for entrepreneurship, if that's what that looks like, we have to
yep,
do that. But just having a space where we can feel that we're not alone or that we're seen and heard as women. And so I've been in the process of even creating my own women's groups and then also joining other entrepreneurs groups, because a lot of times if you're the only entrepreneur in your family, they're just not going to
yeah,
understand your
Mhm,
schedule, how you're moving and everything. And so
mhm.
make sure that they're positive communities though. You
Yeah,
don't want to get
yeah,
into negative spaces. But that's really how I'm
exactly.
doing it.
That's good, right? Because what you're doing is you're setting yourself up for success, right? So you're putting yourself around others that are in that space, that are in that mindset, that maybe are even ahead of you, right? Because that's what we need to do is we need to grow and expand, right? You don't want to be the smartest person in the room. You want to be in a room with the smartest people so that you can learn and grow. And that's one of the things that's super important with entrepreneurship and becoming a coach and all these things that we do because we have lots of hats, right? Motherhood and business and also working while you're running your business. Like all of these things are pieces that we have to put together. And it's really important that you surround yourself with a supportive community. And not that family isn't supportive, but you're 1,000% right. If they don't understand the mindset or the fact that you're going for something completely different than the maybe what the previous family members have done, they don't get it. And it's not because they're like trying to poo-poo what you're doing. They just don't get it. Right? It's
Right.
like
They
I've
don't
had that.
God gave
Yeah.
us the vision, not them. And
Right.
so I just learned to accept it and
Right.
that I know they love me and they support me. They help me with my children and so that I can do the things, but it's not going to all, like Noah, when Noah was building, nobody understood what he was doing. Even
Yep.
Nehemiah. I
Right.
read so many different stories in the Bible of they're just not going to understand until God starts to put the pieces together in that
Yep.
season. So it's just important to connect to the right, like we're doing right now, be in the right spaces and the right communities where you can be understood
Yeah.
until if, the people that you care about get it. And sometimes they may never get it, but you just be okay with that, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I mean, we're not everybody's cup of tea, but and everybody's not our cup of tea either. So we have to remember that. You know what I'm saying? Like there's people that we want to work with and people that we don't have to work with because they don't fit our criteria. So I do want to talk to you about now. I want to shift into your coaching business, into your program. And I want to ask you, who is the ideal person? Who do you work with? And what are your pillars? What are you helping people with?
Yes. So my slogan is New Day, New Possibilities. I want people that are willing to take action. You're not going to I don't you want solutions. That's what I'm looking
Right.
for. It's people that are willing to do the work.
Yeah.
And that believe in themselves, but just need someone that can help support them in their efforts, dreams, and vision. That they don't have all the strategies together, but they just need someone that can help align those those areas, and then looking to develop new income streams from start to
Okay.
finish. So sometimes
Mhm.
it starts as an idea, and that's kind of what I do is help them flow, make all the processes flow for their idea and put it into action. And then
Mhm.
also another client is if you're just looking to improve your finances. I help with my program, Legacy Builders, and that is starting from honestly for families 3 years old into adulthood. So I help with coaching for finances as well.
Okay, that's great. That's great. So they can build something with you from scratch, right? Or think
Marketing,
about right. Oh, marketing. Is that what you
personal
said?
brand and marketing. Yeah.
Personal brand and marketing. Okay, great. That's powerful, right? Because personal brand development is something that a lot of new entrepreneurs are learning they have to do. Like we all have to be marketers and sellers and like all the things.
So I'll tell you the clients God has been sending me. It's people that are transitioning out of working in like a corporate space
Yep.
or from their job and they just don't know what's next. So really,
Right.
that's who he's assigned to me is to helping them, start with, let me just look at your resume and your portfolio. What are the things that you're gifted at?
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
help them align to those things of what's next. And then helping them with the business registration. They don't know where to start with that. And then also making the other pieces flow of, what's the name of their brand going to be called and start to finish. It's a really fun process. I enjoy
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, no, brand development is fun. It is a lot of fun.
It is.
Yeah, it is a lot of fun. So talk to me about what are some of the common mistakes that you see in brand development and how can entrepreneurs or aspiring entrepreneurs avoid these big mistakes? Give me some big mistakes you see or common mistakes you see.
Okay. Common mistakes in personal brand development is I believe that you've got to know your target audience, right? Um, and that was something that
Yeah,
took me a
so
while as
big.
well. Yeah, right.
Mhm, mhm,
Know your target audience. And then also, it's very important to develop your brand pillars because I believe that is what's going to help you establish everything else in the development of whether it's your content, who you are in your messaging. Those are two very, very key um, instruments that I believe that we have to have done.
mhm,
What do
mhm.
you think about
What do I
that?
think? Oh, no,
Hmm.
I think that's yeah, I think that's brilliant, right? Because one of the things that happens a lot to the common thing I also see is that not knowing who your people are, not knowing who to speak to, right? I do something in my program called the 3 ICC, which is the 3 ideal core client. And I have my girl my I call them my girls. Hey,
My
what's up, girl?
girls.
My girls. I have all the women in my program like go through this ICC process where they break it down into 3 levels of this person. Like, who is that person when she's first starting? Who is she when she's already aware, but maybe just not doing it yet? And who is she as the expert, and speak to that person and that level? Because what happens is that we think we have a product that is for everyone, and it's not. Not everyone is looking for what you have, and that's okay. Because not everybody who goes to the grocery store looking for mayonnaise is going to pick up ketchup because it looks completely different. It's not the same thing, right? And so
Yeah.
we
Mhm.
have to stop doing that. We have to stop thinking that we are for everyone. We are not. We
Well,
are not.
that's so funny. And I tell you, I tell my mistakes. That's how I started. I thought I was everything to everybody and
Yeah.
making no money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I had to
Same.
really,
Yeah.
but this is straight talk, right? Okay.
Yes.
And so I had to define my audience, and I have, really created this worksheet is that we have to get down to where the person shops,
Yep.
all the way, what are their interests, and
Mhm.
really getting to know our niche and our target market, so that
Very
we can,
important.
yeah,
Yeah.
so that we can
Very
be
important.
everything to that person if we can, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah, and help
Speak
them
to them.
through what the holes are. If you don't know who you're talking to, you don't know what the holes are. It's like,
I love that.
I do a 4 quadrant process where we talk about, the things that you want, with this ideal core client. Like, what are the things you're looking for? What is it for you as well? Like, what are your non-negotiables? What are the things you're looking for? Like, what is the goal of your income that you wanna have? Well, how do you turn your ideal core client into your raving fan? All these things are important and things you don't think about, right? Like the women in my program keep re-signing up with me. I think that's an honor. You know what I mean? Like I help them build out their business, their program. I help them because then they want to add webinars. Then they want to like do summits. Then they want to do all these things. And I'm like, okay, let me help you with that. Let me help you with this. Let me help you with that. So they stay with me because our businesses, as you probably are really seeing a lot, Alicia, is the fact that we evolve. And as we evolve, our concepts evolve, our business evolves, our message evolves, everything evolves.
Yes.
And so,
I love it.
that's what I do with my clients. And I absolutely love being with them. So I get what you're talking about with the brand, awareness. And of that being one of the biggest critical mistakes. I had a woman hop on my call because she wants to be a part of my program. And so we were talking and I said, what do you do? She said, I'm a mindset coach. I said, great. Mindset on what? Well, mindset on helping people. I said, okay, to do what? Yeah, just mindset to get their mindset right. I said, okay, who do you serve? Well, everyone needs help with mindset. I said, okay, that answers everything for me. How many clients do you have? Zero.
Right,
0
right,
clients because
right.
nobody knows what you're saying or talking about. And you might get a few people, but you're not going to get people consistently because nobody knows exactly if you're targeting them or not. If you're working with women, work with women. If you're working
Mhm.
with men and women, work with both. But then, like you said, what are their psychographics? What are their demographics? What do they like to do, not like to do? How do they like to be spoken to, Alicia? Right? Because the people in my program know I'm a Christian. I don't hide it. You know it. So the
Yeah.
women in my program are all faith based. And if they're not faith based, they don't mind that it's faith based. You
Right,
know what I
right.
mean?
Hmm.
So there's a lot going on, and I love that you're doing that. I love that you're helping them with their brand awareness and development, but you're also, helping them with, do we need strategies on creating your business? What does that look like to create it? How do we do it? Like how do we then get your finances in order so your business is successful and sustains you? right?
Yes, and I want to speak a little bit about that, if that's
Yeah,
okay,
I
because what
love that.
I found with building my business, it's a lot. I used a lot of resources and different coaches, but they didn't care nothing about my budget. And I was a mom of young children, so I am a little bit more sensitive to that. I want people to succeed, and
Yeah,
if they're stressed about, and I guess that's where my financial education and literacy comes in. If I feel people have stressors and they're not really able to create. So I take it step by step of what this budget is going to look like to have this
right.
done. Check that box. What this, and that's the way God gave it to me, because it wasn't done that way. Everything was just all over the place. And so
Mhm,
that's
mhm.
kind of how my mountain got created. And so moving forward with my business, I want to help women be able to have a clear mind as much as possible, kind of be that person to help them along the way, but also what does this number amount look like? How long of will this process take to get here, so
Yeah.
that we can go to the next step?
Yeah. I agree with that 1,000%. Also, one of the things I tell my women when they come to me is because a lot of women that come to me are really playing with the idea of growing to the point of leaving their corporate jobs, right? They want to start their own coaching businesses. They want to be successful. They want to launch, right? Because I help them with all of that. Okay, great. But one of the things I tell them always when they come to me is also understand that I don't want you to leave your day job, right? Because that to me, and I want to hear your thoughts on this, to me that is your loan that's interest free and you don't have to pay it back. And so what I mean by that is instead of looking at your job like, oh, it's such a burden, look at your job like, oh, it's such a blessing because I get to take 10% or whatever the percentage is off and use it towards my dreams, my business, my building up. Because one of the things that people don't tell you, and they should, is that when you get into this type of business, you are everything. Like you are the marketer, you are the mindset person, you are the funnel builder, you are the PDF
Woo!
creator, you are
Yes.
all of the
Graphic
things. Right,
designer.
right. You're
Yeah,
all the things.
you
And
are
nobody
the team.
yeah, exactly. And the good thing is like as you grow, like right now, I have a few legs of my business, and one whole leg that I give to other women, other coaches, is I have an entire VA service. Right? I've built these women. We have trained for over a year and a half. They know how to work with coaches and how to build up coaches, how to help them like navigate, how to help them build funnels. Like these girls are, they're ready. Right. And then the
Mhm.
other part of my business is I had to create a whole team to do marketing, funnel building, ads, automation. Why? Because well, you see, ain't nobody was helping me with all that. I was like,
Mhm.
okay, all right, y'all. Like, where, what? Nobody,
Listen,
nobody done told me.
God send the
Told me that,
team, God send the systems, God, He'll
right?
do it. But the Bible
Yes,
says faith without works is dead. He's got to see us put in some
yes,
work
yes,
first before he gives us the team. And then also something else that God gave me was, Alicia, there's work behind the miracle. I think we hear so many prosperity preaching
yes,
that we don't realize behind those miracles all the work that you just spoke of that it
yes.
takes.
It
And
takes a lot
then
of work.
eventually we get to that mark. But to speak about what you were just saying about, rushing to quit your corporate job, um, hold on, just hold on. And like you said, use it as an investment
Yes, yes,
into your future. And every morning I love what I do. I love my job. I thank God for my job. It is a blessing. The people I work with are amazing. The people that I help on my job are great. But
this is
what God
awesome.
showed me is that still I can't get too comfortable in that space, because our
Right.
job is our vehicle to our purpose. It's not our forever place. Don't rest
Absolutely.
there. Don't rest there.
Absolutely.
You can't just, that's not. So I could never just get comfortable in my role in my job. God always was, pivoting me, and I was always doing something else. And so what I can tell you is just appreciate the job He's given you and
Yes.
use it, like you said, to invest into the business. And then when you eventually decide that, what's helped me is to, when you're getting started in your business, is to create a job description, right? Just to take it seriously, because I could pour so much in it for somebody else's company, but I was not prioritizing God's vision. And so I
Mm.
created a job description, come on, with my former
Mm.
HR experience for myself. And these are the things that are the expectations that God has for my business. And I have to get this done. And you know what I mean? This
Yep.
book had to get done. I don't
Yeah.
care that you just had a baby. Write the book, figure it out.
Right. 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 Because he gives you all of the skill sets and talent and wisdom to do it. And that's the thing. Like it's about utilizing all he has gifted you and given you. And we are so blessed. We are so blessed because to be called to serve other people in that way, right? To serve others and to help them transition into whatever it is they're doing too, because we've been there, done that, wrote a book about it. You know what I'm saying? So like when we can do that for others, what a beauty and a blessing that is. And if you're promised tomorrow, amazing. Take advantage of that, right? Because we can't change the yesterdays. We don't know too much. We try to create the future, but we definitely have today as the present, right? And
Come
so
on
we
here.
have got we have got to take today on fully for what it is. And I love that you're stepping into your calling. I love that you are a trailblazer and a game changer, and that you're going to show all these women how to do that for themselves. And that's a beautiful gift, and a gift that will last legacies because, Alicia, as you know, you change one person, that person changes their family, that family changes their family, and so on and so forth, right? That's how it rolls.
And you know, I didn't think of it that way, but whenever I go into any workshop, webinar, wherever God has sent me in any room, I say, if I just touch one person, then
Right.
I've done the work that you've called me to do. Everyone might not be interested in what I have to
Right.
say, but if I've just touched one, then I'm pleased, you know.
Exactly.
So wow, that is big what you just said, Nina.
Yeah, God is good. And I'm really grateful for what you're doing out in the world. I mean, you're really doing your thing. And I'm really, I'm proud to know you. I'm proud to have you on my show. I love people that, really like have this expertise and wisdom and really are real about it and just authentic and just really telling people, listen, yes, it's going to be some work and it's going to be a challenge and it might even be a little hard, but you don't got to A, do this alone, and B, you can do it. That's the whole thing. You can do it. Right. So I always
Oh,
tell people every coach needs a coach, every therapist needs a therapist, every doctor needs a doctor. We always need somebody. Correct.
hallelujah. Yes, yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Go
I'm
ahead.
honored to be just connected with you and just that you would invite me on your platform. This is just such a great experience. Thank you so much, Nina. You're awesome.
Oh,
Yes.
thank you. Well, thank you for being here, really, and thank you for sharing. And I want those who are listening who want to work with you. I want to know how they can find you, work with you. See all that because I just love that. I love that you're getting into the nitty gritty with them. There's no judgment here. There's only love, and there's only like, listen, this is what it looks like, but these are the steps. You can take these steps and actually do this thing, right? And I want people to feel encouraged by that. So, how do people
God.
find you, follow you, work with you? Give me all that stuff.
All right. So my website is www.aliciafitts.com. And then also you can check out my new book at www.conquermymountain.com. And then on social media, Instagram is It's Alicia Fitts. And then on Facebook, you can find me at Alicia N Fitts. And then LinkedIn, Alicia Fitts. I made it real simple.
Just look for Alicia Fitts and you will
Just
find her.
find me. Google me, baby.
Thank you so much for being here and for having this beautiful, authentic conversation with my audience. I really appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nina. I am so grateful. I was very, very excited about this. I am. So
Me
thank you. I
too.
appreciate you. I'm looking forward to other opportunities with you and what God is going to do in our lives.
Oh, yes, we're gonna talk about some opportunities. I got a big one coming up, so I'm excited.
Uh-oh.
Yes, yes. So, guys, thank you for hanging out with me and Alicia. I really just love her energy, who she is, what she's about. And when I meet people like that, I immediately like, do you want to go on my podcast? Because I just love you. So I'm gonna have her back on because we have a big, big thing coming up. It's called The Women Who Lead, and I just cannot wait for you to be a part of that. But I really enjoy this conversation with Alicia because when people are out here doing something to help another human. That's what it's about. It's not about tearing each other down, bringing each other
Yes.
down, like having all this negativity and all this garbage that's out there in the ecosphere right now. It's about really good humans getting together, uplifting one another, and building a community where you can help someone further along than anybody you helped you. So you learn and then you help the next person. That's what this is about. So thank you guys for being here. You know, I love you so much. This is Neena Perez, straight talk, no sugar added. Until next.